Hello and welcome to another session of the Business 360. Today we are treating the student politics and the issues involved. And to help us with this topic is our own JCR president, the JCR president for Mensa Sabahal, Sage.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, my name isn't Sage. It's just a nickname or a brand name. Let me put it that way. My name is Derek Okai, and I'm a level 400 political science and Russian student. And I'm currently the JCR president of Mensa Sabahal. Yeah. Okay. Basically, I have the desire to serve. Okay. I have the desire to cause an impact in wherever that I find myself. So initially, I was quite reserved. I wasn't really engaged in activities, especially in student activities, until I got to the university. And then I decided to make something meaningful out of the life that I live. I felt that I could do more, but I had boxed myself in, and then I wasn't really exhibiting my potential. And so when I got to campus, I realized that there are some students who had availed themselves to do things to help other students. And I felt that was where I had been called to be, or that was where I feel I'd be able to contribute to help people in my surrounding or in my environment. So yeah, that is how come I decided to engage in student activities, especially students leadership. Yeah, students politics in the University of Ghana, I think, is dynamic and it's diverse in the sense that you find a lot of things happening inside. You find a lot of good things happening in students leadership or in students politics. You find people doing their best to give up whatever that is in them for the progress of whatever unit or association that they head. You find the diabolic part of it too, but yeah, it's all part of the dynamics. But I think that students' leadership in general in the University of Ghana is something that is promising, and uh, it's something we can rely on for our future. Or I would want to say that students' politics in the University of Ghana is actually a model of what we are seeing currently in our government space, or yeah, in our political space in this country and beyond. Yeah, there have been a number of challenges, but to a far extent, I will not really call them challenges. I would say there are things that have helped build me up, or things that are still building me up for whatever task that I have ahead of me after studentship. So I remember very well in level 100, I was appointed as JCR, deputy JCR, sorry. I was appointed as deputy publicity committee head for Sabaho JCR by the then JCR president. That was Joshua Nita KSL, popularly known as Montana. And I remember very well that my vetting, I almost didn't pass because the people over there felt that I was too small, too fresh in the university system, and too inexperienced. But God being so good, there were some people who had already seen some of the things I was doing as an acting deputy publicity committee head. And so those people vouched for me, and then I finally had the nod to serve as deputy publicity head. And there's been a number of challenges as well. For instance, students' leadership comes with your ability to multitask or your ability to manage your time very well. You know, you'll be combining studentship with your work as a JCR executive or as a JCR president. There are other uh, activities you're also involved in. For instance, internship or other stuff that you are involved in as a student. It's not always about academics. There are other things you engage in as a student, and then trying to combine these things together, it's quite difficult sometimes. However, I feel that as a leader, you're supposed to have a good balance. You're supposed to strike a good balance in your time and in everything that you do. So no aspect of your life as a student suffers. And I feel these are things that were quite challenging in the beginning, but as time went on, I've been able to improve, and then I'm doing well. Yeah, I've learned a lot of things in student leadership, uh, quite a number of them. First and foremost, I think that I have learned how to be fair in all of my dealings with people. You know, as a student leader or as a leader, you're supposed to be fair in your dealings with everybody, and you're supposed to be honest. You're supposed to be accountable, and you're supposed to engage stakeholders. There are some key, features of a good leader, and then these are the ability to engage stakeholders, your ability to be decisive in your decision making, and your ability to adapt in whatever situation you find yourself in. And these are things that I believe that I've been able to acquire as a leader or as a person. Yes, so some of these are some of the things I've been able to learn, and also I've been able to learn how to engage with people that I know and people that I do not know and I meet for the first time. I think the right word to use is networking. I've been able to network and learn how to network very well, and it has also given me the opportunity to meet and interact with people I may not have met if I was going on the regular stream. You know, I feel it's an advantage and it's an opportunity for me to build on myself. Yeah, I think that it has also significantly improved or boosted my confidence. Initially, there were a lot of things that I couldn't do, including speaking in public and engaging people that I didn't know. But like I said, it has boosted my confidence, and I'm able to flow when I'm in public, when I'm engaging people one on one. And then it has also improved my listening capacity. Very important. Yeah. Yeah, I feel that students' politics is a foundation or is a model of national politics. There is a popular saying somewhere that whatever that happens in the University of Ghana now is what is expected to happen in Ghana somewhere about 20 or 10 years later. I wouldn't want to limit it to the University of Ghana, but I would want to say students' leadership in general. You know, the people we see today at our leadership who are handling the affairs of the country today, I believe were people who took up leadership roles when they were in school on campus. You can talk of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, you can talk of some of these prominent figures who are at the helm of affairs in our nation right now. So I think that whatever that happens over here, or whichever people pick up student leadership portfolios, are people who build themselves up for the positions or for the roles in government or in public administration in future. Because you'd barely find somebody who wasn't engaging in student activities who is up there now, because that person may not have had the kind of experience or the leadership experience that he would need to manage the affairs of a country like that. Yeah. I think that Christianity and leadership is supposed to be intertwined, or they are actually intertwined, because we are supposed to live in a community or a country where our leaders are God-fearing. And then if we know that our leaders are God-fearing, in one way or the other, we are sure that the issues of corruption or other ill activities that are associated with leadership, they are not going to be pervasive, or we are not going to find them as much as we do. Currently, you find most of our leaders engaged in, corrupt activities, and sometimes we ask ourselves whether or not these people who claim to be Christians are actually Christians, or these people who claim to be Muslims are actually Muslims. Because I believe that whatever religion you find ourselves in, there are some code of ethics, or there are some kind of norms that are appreciated by us. And so if you're a Christian and then you find yourself in leadership, we expect that whatever attitude or whatever characteristics you portray as a Christian are the same characteristics you portray as a leader. Because mind you, leaders, if somebody is a leader, okay, and the person says he or she is a Christian, it means that person is a Christian first before he becomes a leader. And so whatever activity that he portrays or whatever activity he indulges in as a leader should be activities that should reflect his or her Christianity or his or her Christian faith. So I think that Christianity and then leadership is strongly intertwined, and I encourage students, or I encourage Christians to involve themselves in politics, because in one way or the other, when they are able to develop themselves and then pursue whatever interest they have in leadership, they would find themselves at the top there, and then they will impact people in a godly manner. Yeah. Yes. I think that wherever you find yourself now is based on a decision you took some time back, or a decision you took by yourself. So wherever you want to find yourself, I think it has to come with a decision. The decision to do something, and a decision to pursue whatever that you have decided to do. I'll encourage everybody. I mean, I would never discourage somebody to go for a leadership portfolio, because in one way or the other, it helps build the person. If that person has good intentions, it helps impact the community as a whole. So if anybody is interested in vying for a portfolio, or is interested in venturing into students leadership, I'll advise that person to take the decision to do that, and also take a decision to pursue that decision he or she has taken. Is an influx of decision of the decision word, but I think that it is necessary to decide, because until you decide, whatever that you have are just plans. There are two things: deciding to do something, and then deciding to pursue what you have decided to do. And you can decide to do something, it becomes a plan, but until you decide to implement it, it is still a plan, and it doesn't realize. Yes. And whoever wants to venture into students leadership, there's an advice I'll give the person: the decision to venture, and the decision to implement your decision to venture. Yes. So actually, sometimes people say with their mouth, or they only think of venturing in student politics because they find it interesting, but the decision to pursue their interest isn't there. So it always remains a plan. Whatever that you set on your eyes, or whatever you set to achieve, if you intend realizing it, then I think that you'd have to take constructive steps to make sure that those decisions you have taken are realized. And another advice that I'll give to people who want to venture in students leadership is, you're supposed to be fair in your dealings with everybody. You're supposed to be honest in your dealings with people. You're supposed to be fair with people. These two things, if you're able to do very well, you wouldn't have a problem. And I would also want to encourage people that in all their dealings with people in students leadership, they should try not to make enemies for themselves, unwanted or unnecessary enemies. We are all here to learn, okay? And I think that while learning, or in the process of learning, we may encounter some challenges, including having grudges with people. But that isn't what our focus is supposed to be on, seeking to make enemies simply because our interests are not aligned. I feel that to a large extent, that is unnecessary. What we are here to achieve is the betterment of whoever that we seek to lead. And so if you want to lead, somebody else wants to lead, and then you do not have aligning interest, what you're supposed to do is to talk, have a dialogue. What best way can whatever that we want to achieve be achieved when we are together? That is far better than fighting each other and purporting that you are better than someone in terms of your ideas. Yeah, one challenge in students leadership is the desire, or I would call it desire, or the potential to make enemies. You know, there are people outside there thriving in politics who were once like us. But when you go there today, the politicians of the opposing political parties, although they come on TV or on radio stations to lambast each other based on the opinions they have, when you go behind doors, you realize that these same people are people who are having businesses together, who are running businesses together, are in same family relations, and they do things together outside politics. But one challenge I think there is in student leadership is the potential to make enemies, or the desire to make enemies. We feel that once someone's interest isn't aligned with mine, we become enemies. And so we use all sorts of unnecessary words, very, very harsh and abusive words on our opponents simply because their interests do not align with us. And I feel that that is something that we are supposed to control as students leaders. If we really want to go far, we have to be able to compose ourselves. We have to be able to keep our composure as leaders in how we interact with people, how we share our opinions, and then how we criticize others. Because if we are unable to keep up good relations over here, it would be very difficult for us to keep these same relations outside there. The people we may be fighting with today are the people whose help we may be needing sometime in the future. So if we do not try to keep good attitude, or if you do not try to keep good relations with some of these people or with these people, it will be very difficult for us to thrive outside there. We do not know what the future holds for us, but we can, to an extent, determine whatever future we would have if we are able to keep up best practices in whatever endeavor we find ourselves in right now. Yeah. USAG, which is the University Students Association of Ghana, is a coalition of university students, both private and public university students that are accredited in Ghana, who come together to champion the interests of university students, basically. I'm currently running for the General Secretary portfolio of the University Students Association of Ghana, and I'll need your support in that regard. The various SRC presidents and then executives of the various schools that are member universities of USAG. Despite the relevance of the University Students Association of Ghana, it's championing the interests of students, not a lot of students know about the association. And I feel that is a problem because if there is an institution and then not everybody knows about it, to an extent, people may not even run to it for the kind of help that they will be given should they make a complaint or something. I think that is an issue that has to be addressed. I think that the past and present executives of the University Students Association of Ghana have done their best in making the association relevant to students. However, I feel that there is more to be done. And that is why I'm vying for the General Secretary portfolio of USAG to help, bridge this gap between the association and students, reinforcing the identity of the University Students Association of Ghana, making it known to students, and then making its purpose more realized in the various member universities of the association. And so I'd like to seek the support of the various stakeholders in the association and the various XRC executives of the universities that are members of the University Students Association of Ghana. I believe that I'll be able to help solve this problem, and I crave for your support. Thank you. I feel that as humans, wherever we find ourselves, we've been called to achieve a certain purpose. And it is necessary that we discover whatever potential we have in us and be able to implement it profitably for the benefit of everybody around us. And I'd like to commend the Business and Political Chamber of Pensa Legon for whatever good thing that you're doing. They are really putting in effort to make sure that students benefit from the association before they leave school. It's very impactful and it has helped in a lot of ways. Personally, I've volunteered or I've engaged myself in a number of activities in Pensa Business and Political Chamber. And I'll encourage every student of Pensa Legon who is interested in leadership and business especially to involve themselves in the activities. It will go a great mile to help them in future. Thank you.